Did you know there are special tax breaks that members of the United States Armed Forces, their spouses, and veterans should know about before filing their income tax return? Knowing this information, or knowing someone who does, could get you a bigger tax refund or help reduce what taxes you might owe the IRS. I'm Mark Steber, Chief Tax Information Officer at Jackson Hewitt, and at Jackson Hewitt, we appreciate the sacrifices our military members and their families have made. Today, I'm going to tell you everything. Well, maybe not everything in these few minutes, but some important tax tips you need to know about your federal income taxes and specifically how to keep more of your money that you deserve and is owed to you. First things first, you have enough on your plate. Don't worry about filing your taxes alone. Work with a tax pro, especially one that has experience filing military tax returns for military members. Not only are they experts in helping taxpayers like you who might have a more complicated life and work situation, but they'll also help you get the biggest tax refund you're owed. What is taxable income for the military? Your military pay can be complicated because there's rules on what's taxable, meaning what you pay taxes on, and what you don't. Generally, taxable pay is a type of pay by name and is taxable, such as base pay. Also taxable, special pay, reserve training pay, bonuses, Armed Services Academy pay, accrued leave, and mustering out payments and incentive pay. But your allowances, such as your BAH, also called the housing allowance, are tax exempt. If you're serving overseas, your overseas housing allowance, or your OHA, is not taxable either, nor is your cost of living adjustment, or your COLA. Neither is family separation pay and most moving allowances. There's even more breaks and benefits that aren't taxable income for military and veterans, but you should talk to your tax pro to make sure you're claiming all the income properly. That being said, if you do put it on your tax return by accident or using a bad preparer, the IRS will not likely remove it automatically, which means you just paid too much in taxes and didn't keep more money in your pocket. So it really does matter who does your taxes. Moving on to things that you can write off or are considered a tax deduction. Every year I get asked, what are some things active military and veterans can deduct? So let's rapid fire. Can you deduct your military uniform? Full-time active duty cannot, but reservists can if they're not reimbursed. Is there a work clothing tax deduction? Again, no work clothing, even when it's not a uniform, not deductible. Are military haircuts tax deductible? My dad was in the Army and he still considers this one unfair. There's no tax deduction for your haircut. What is the military mileage rate? Well, this generally is someone asking about MALT, or monetary allowance in lieu of transportation. This is only paid when you and your family are moving for a permanent change of station, or a PCS. The payment is the current mileage allowance up to 2 personal vehicles when moving on PCS orders to a new duty station. You do not get to take a deduction on mileage driving to and from work. You are eligible for a deduction for travel if your reserve duty is more than 100 miles and you stay overnight to perform your reserve duty. Then the IRS allows you to deduct the amount you spend for work-related travel and lodging, as well as up to 50% of the cost of your meals. Are military retirement contributions deductible? Yes. Can you deduct moving expenses? Here's a big difference between civilians and military. Yes, if you move because of a permanent change of station, you can deduct reasonable unreimbursed moving expenses. This is a really nice perk and a big difference between military and civilians. Are work-related education classes and school write-offs? Not as an expense for employment. However, you may be eligible for either of the education tax credits, the American Opportunity Tax Credit, the AOTC, or the Lifetime Learning Credit. What's the best way to keep good military records? Track everything related to your tax return job and income. Keep records like prior year tax returns, receipts, canceled checks, health insurance documentation, and other documents that support an item of income, a deduction, or a credit appearing on your tax return, or a payment of taxes for that tax return. And here's a pro tip. It's a best practice to keep tax records for about 7 years in the unlucky event that you're audited by the IRS. If you're in the military stationed overseas, do you pay taxes? Yes, you still file a tax return and pay taxes in your home state, even if you're stationed overseas. How will your taxes change if you're serving overseas in a combat zone? Well, if you're an active duty military member and stationed in an officially declared combat zone, there's even more that you should know. First, your combat income is generally non-taxable for each month you spend at least 1 day in the combat zone, meaning you won't pay taxes on that income. Second, you have more time to file your tax return and pay taxes owed because you get an automatic 180-day extension. But just because you're given more time doesn't mean you have to wait until the final deadline. It's a best practice to file as soon as you have all of the information you need. Remember, you still must file. If you fail to file and pay your income taxes, you may be at risk of penalties and interest from the IRS, like the failure to file and failure to pay penalties. Finally, there are many more special rules and considerations for our valuable military taxpayers, far beyond this short video. That is only a sampler. So if you are in the military and not in the tax department or in the specialty tax operations group, make sure you understand your taxes or have someone help you who does. You have many choices and many options, some on-base help, some off-base, but make sure you get what's right for you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more valuable information and hit that notification bell and stay updated on all things taxes. Don't wait. Visit jacksonhewitt.com to schedule an appointment today to learn what else you should know about your tax return as a member of the United States Armed Forces or as a veteran.